Microsoft team. So first of all, thank you everyone. So we are Roby. So this webinar is collaborate with Masterpiece of Data Services. It comes to we actually had the first webinar a few weeks ago, and that was the time we met Masterpiece of Data, and Michael was in the webinar, and then he told me their services have heavily involved with helping companies or school to set up your Microsoft team. They have a great knowledge. So after the webinar, we had a few conversations, realized, wow, they know really quite deeply more than we do. Again, the whole purpose is today is trying to create this community to help each other, especially in this pandemic. Like a lot of time people need to work remotely, and we found like Microsoft Teams is a great tool to helping you out. And then we bring an expert here for you to ask any of the question. So my name is Jay Xu. I'm the CEO and the founder of Roby. So we have Michael here with Masterpiece from Masterpiece of Data. So Michael, you want to say hello to everyone?
Hi, everyone.
All right, cool. So I think I'll get in a very briefly introduction why we start doing this. So basically, Microsoft Teams is a great tool we found to really helping you, especially for the remote working environment. The reason is like it basically consolidate all the tools into single one interface. So you can basically just stay on Microsoft Teams to do a lot of things. You don't have to switching back and forth from the different channel, from email, from your text calling and all that, just completely consolidated. And the reason why we want to use it also because it helps the team communication a lot. So it does have that structure of based on organization and teams, and also the channel to separate the topics. So make your conversation much more organized. And another really cool part I found it very useful, Michael will dive into it later on, is a file, like manage your files, right? So nowadays you have very complicated hierarchy. Somebody had to dedicate it to manage all that. Now by using Microsoft Teams, it's kind of naturally to organize all your files. So those kind of like great advantage, we definitely want to encourage everyone here, use this chance, to kind of transfer your work style toward this direction. So yeah, so we have seen, especially also in our organization, the biggest challenge for remote working is definitely communication and collaboration. And then this will come back to, when we back to office, those problems still exist. And then we believe that, using Microsoft Teams will really help this problem solve. So I'm gonna pass this starting point to Michael. So Michael, you might want to give everybody a little bit more introduction about Microsoft Teams.
Hi, so I'm Michael Shepard, and I am from Masterpiece Data Services up in Canada. And pretty much I'm gonna talk on a few topics, and one of them is going to be about licensing for Teams. So when it comes to licensing for Teams, it is a good idea to have a benchmark starting with what they call now as Microsoft 365 for business. Now, a lot of people would have known it as Office 365 business. It's the same thing, they're just rebranding a little bit. Something to keep in mind though is you don't actually need to have an Office license to be able to use Teams. So when you have clients or maybe staff that aren't full-time and stuff like that, they will still actually be able to use Teams. All they need is a license. So to go from there, I wanted to show a little bit on how when the files are synced to your computer, we have these little icons. I'll show you in a minute where they would pop up when you sync them. So the first one there is mainly means that the document is in your imaginary server that's up in the cloud, and it's safe there, it's good to go, but it's not actually on your computer. So this makes it really nice because you don't have to have big hard drive computers to have access to a ton of files. The next one there is that it's syncing. So this either means that it's uploading to the internet or downloading from the internet. And then the last two here are means that it is on your computer. The first one, the green circle that's white in the middle, means that it is on your computer, but you can have it set so that after like 30 days or something like that, it'll actually delete it off your computer to save space. So if you're not using a document very often, it'll get rid of it and you'll have to re-download it. Now, let's say there's a document that you need to always have, or let's say you're going on vacation to Jasper or to Seattle or something like that, and you need to have those documents on your computer because you don't know if you're going to have internet access when you need to work on those documents. You would right click on the file and you can say always keep on device. When that is applied to a document, it has this solid green circle with the white check mark. And that means that it's there, it's not going to be deleted, it will always be on your computer. And now here, so these are the two different logos that you'll see over on the left-hand side in your File Explorer. And after this slide, I'll show you where these icons all are. The first one is OneDrive. OneDrive and SharePoint are very much the same thing, except you need to understand that you should only have your personal files that you are the only one that really work on them, in OneDrive. The files that if you are working with a bunch of people, or if they need to be accessed by everyone, those should always be in SharePoint files. And so when you sync your Teams files to your desktop, it'll have this little building logo here. And then that's how you know where those Teams ones are, because they don't come up with a Teams logo, they come up with that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So when you go and look, you'll see here I have a whole bunch of files, and you can see I have like this red document, which is a video file. It is always going to be on my computer. It's not going to get deleted. But these ones here will get deleted after, let's say, 30 days. That's usually the typical. And then you can see that my desktop right now is syncing. Now over here on the left, this is where I was talking. These, for our company, I have a whole bunch of our teams all mapped to my computer, and they all have a little building here, and these are all of them. Over here is the OneDrive, and so this would be my personal stuff. What it looks like to get there is you'll go to Files. This is here in Teams, and then it'll come up. Some applications of Teams is not identical for all licenses and not identical for all uses. So schools have an entirely different Teams platform than just a normal business. So I can hit here and it'll sync it, or I can go to open in SharePoint, which it's not going to let me go there, I don't think. But in there, then you'll be able to hit sync, and then it will pop up in here with a little building, and then you will have, say, Eggfinity team or whatever team that you have over there. I'm gonna pass it over to Jay, and he's gonna chat about apps.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Michael. So those are the basic things we are talking about. I found it extremely helpful, especially in terms of the file management. It makes it much easier and simpler, to manage all your files with the teams. And the next topic we want to talk about is actually is about the apps. So you can actually find the apps on your Microsoft team. Like a lot of time, you will find it very useful, especially since like Roby. So for us, we are helping like ticketing system. There is some other app like helping you, for example, employee survey or some of these more like project management and all that. So what you can do to actually find out where this is So you can basically go to here and then you click like more ads. And then from here, you can search all kinds of app you are looking for. And most of them are free. You can download it as at least for the trial. Definitely encourage you to, you know, according to what problem you have, you will be able to download that. So later on, we're gonna show you like, you know, how Roby works in terms of like, you know, helping you manage your ticket externally or internally. So the next topic, I think I'll pass back to Micheal. We'll be talking about, you know, how to start a video meeting.
Okay, so again, I'm going to take over and share my screen with you, and I'm going to show you guys two different spots that we can do this from. So one is if we open up our calendar here. So I am on the desktop version. The online version does it as well, but it's not as clean. And I know that most clients tend to use the Office on their Outlook on their desktop. So this is the desktop program. And right here, you can just hit that icon and then it'll come into here. From here, you'll be able to go in and add the title and then put the people that need to come and then the people that don't have to come kind of thing and go from there. The only thing is this location I don't like quite as much. The location I prefer to make in meetings in is over here. If we come to calendar and Teams, I can go up here and I can make an impromptu. We're going to have a meeting right now. Everybody knows that we're going to have our meeting in the morning when we get together. You hit that, you start adding people, or you can come here to add a new meeting. Now, the sweet thing about doing it in here is down here where it says add channel. So I can go in here and I can actually pick the team and then the channel that it will belong to. And then from there, that's where this will get posted. And then from there, I can send it out. It'll be sent out to a bunch of people. But if I come back into Teams here and go to the posts, that meeting will be right here. And so then everybody will be able to see it. And then when that time comes, they can click there to join into that meeting. And you can have her back, Jay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's talk about another things about app. So of course, we're from Roby, so we are most familiar with Roby. So this is a good example how an app can help you manage your task. So in Roby, we basically helping you to manage your ticket in your Microsoft team. So you don't have to switch to any other platform. Everything is on team. It's very useful for internal ticket and also the ticket from clients. So client can also stay on their Microsoft team and then just submit the ticket seamlessly. So I want to show you guys how we can do it. Before doing that, so there's two persona. So one is Jay, that's me. So basically my job is receiving the request. So I'm more like a support team or IT manager. And KJ, who is my team member and also the employee, so who are the requester in this case. So let's show the screen here. So this is the account from KJ. So this is a requester. What requester can do is like basically you have a lot of problem in the office or off the office right now. For example, you said, okay, my monitor doesn't work, my laptop have problem, you know, Wi-Fi is not working and all that. You can make a request through Roby in the channel. So when I say channel means like, so for example, this organization, including all the employees. So you can create a channel called support and request. And then that means like you consolidate all the employees' requests in the channel. The reason we doing posts in a channel is like a lot of them are public requests. You want everybody to know it, and then you want to update it there so everybody will know the update. So good example will be like Wi-Fi is broken. So you do want to everybody know what's going on. Or this is a good example. What is a vacation policy? So you do want everybody knows it in a channel so you don't get the repetitive request too much. So here's a good example how we submit the tickets. I'm a KJ, so I just say, okay, tag Roby. I just say, okay, coffee machine is broken, for example. And then just post on the channel, and then waiting for about 1 to 2 seconds, Roby will prompt a menu, and you can submit to the support team like that, very simply. And because coffee machine broken, super important, we want to fix it right now, right away. So, for example, okay, and then you just click OK. And that's pretty much that's it. That already submitted ticket to the support team. So I'm Jay. So in my chat, I will see this ticket is coming in. So let's say coffee machine is broken. So the other cool part is Roby is able to will be able to consolidate all your tickets and then prioritize it for you. So when you click view my open ticket, you will see like all the open ticket you have right now, sorted by priority, sorting by the deadline, and then you can check the details. So for example, this one is a coffee machine, the Wi-Fi is down, we want to close it, so you can just close the ticket from here, right? So this one is the coffee machine's broken, that was the one we just made, so we can just close the ticket here very quickly. Say, for example, it's fixed now. And you click OK. And what Roby does is we're gonna post that message here so everybody in the channel know the coffee machine is fixed right now. Not only just close the ticket, you can also reply for the follow-up messages through Roby. So basically, as a support team, you can stay on your chat and then manage your ticket one by one. So another use cases is like if the request involving with personal information. So for example, you are asking for your employee's ID, you don't want people knows it. You can also go to your chat and then make a request from here. That will be the same process you have. But in this way, only you and the support team will know the information. So that's the way you manage your ticket. So this is a good example, like how you manage your internal ticket. This can be also connected with your customer team. So means like your customer will be able to through the Roby app and then submit the ticket to you. So your customer will be able to submit a ticket through Microsoft Teams. They don't have to go through email. They don't have to go to text message anymore. So make everything much simpler and easier for your life. So thank you again. I know there's still a lot of things we are not able to cover because there's so many good stuff we would like to show you, but we want to hear from you, from your feedback or from your questions. So yeah, so we open for question for now.
Can you hear me okay? Hi.
Yes. Hi, Christina.
Hi. We're new to Teams and we have a lot of staff members who aren't necessarily familiar with, I guess, the new age technology. Do you have any helpful tips for those just getting started with this? I mean, I didn't even know that there was apps available. So after this, I'm really excited to get going. And I know that we're delegating tasks with some of us working from home. So I think that this will be really useful. So thank you for that. But any really like first timer tips would be super appreciated.
Okay, I will start, and then Michael, you can add more after that. So my suggestion will be properly set up your channel. I think that's very important, and then it really depends on your company size. So again, feel free to contact me or contact Michael. I'm happy to help out with that. Because if the channel is set up properly, you actually feel like all the conversation is properly organized. And then I think the second tips will be understanding what are the challenges you guys have right now, and then select the right app. And then for the support team, you should know the app first, and then kind of like you roll out Microsoft Teams with the app all together. So people in in your company or in your team, on the kind of feel like that's by default, that's a functionality. That's usually what I would suggest. So you don't have to educate twice. Say, hey, this is a education for teams, and second, this is education for the different app. So this is at least this is the customer support I had been doing. See the common problem. Michael?
I would like to share my screen.
Sure, hold on 1 second.
Okay, so there's two main things that I would suggest. One is you should have a team that is your whole organization, your whole group, everybody in it. And then from there, then make another team that's like your department or something like that. Even if this is a smaller group, I think that there should still be two teams, one that has everybody in it, and then kind of break down from there, because this here is a permission group. So this is your amount of people that can see what's in here. The second thing, the explanation that I use a lot, and it seems to hit home with most people from very young to very old. I have clients that are 85 that can still understand this. Chat, when you use chat, this is like texting somebody. That it is immediate. It's just back and forth for conversation right with your people. You can group it so that you can have a group chat, but it's texting, and they tend to get that and understand that. When you're using Teams, you have this posts area, and I usually try to explain this as it's like Facebook. And you'd be surprised how many older people enjoy Facebook and can actually grasp and understand that. Because one of the big things that I notice is people will go down here and start typing down here, and they'll post a new comment, and this comment here and this comment here are two separate comments at this point. So if you can explain to them that it's like Facebook and they need to reply and write their message into there, then they'll be able to get it. And then from here, another step is a lot of people understand atting somebody. So if you use at, and then just because I'm funny, at you can tag the person here, and that will direct the message directly to them. All of this stuff is set up so that it will, like, if you go in here, you get notifications and stuff like that. But I would definitely suggest those two main things. Explain that chat is texting, and posts in Teams is like Facebook. And from there, you don't even really need to start moving your files immediately. You can kind of wait a little bit and get the conversation stuff working first. So that's where you're talking, and then the files will just come with it. Do you have any other questions? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for explaining it like that. I think that'll definitely help some staff and make it a little bit more user-friendly for sure. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm glad I could help.
Okay. Is any other questions?
We have a written in question here. This may be best directed towards Michael, but they want to know how to add a tab in their team and what that is used for.
Okay, so there is a few different ways. The main way that you should add a tab is right up here. We hit this add tab, and then from here, there is tons and tons of apps that you can add. Right here, this will also add a whole bunch of apps. So if you wanted to add Roby, you could hit more apps and then search Roby. Now, these ones here are all integrated with Microsoft in one way or another, except for obviously like PDFs is, Adobe most of the time, and a website's a website. But for example, I'll show you a website. So you have the website here, and I can rename it so that up in the top up here, it would say this. And then I can go and I can paste in a website here. And when I save it, it's going to add it as a tab here. And then the website's right here. And this, like from here, I can go and I can click on something and it'll take me to the next place because it operates just like a website. It's actually, that's exactly what it is. And then over here, you know, I added another one that's a website and I can go into the website from there and it's nice and easy. There's also a few other ones here. So I can like pin like an Excel file or Word file up in that tab. And so they don't even need to be documents. So once this loads, I can take here and I can go down and make this a tab and it will take that Word document there. So if there's like a cheat sheet or something like that that you guys use a lot, you can go and attach it to the top and then it'll be right there, nice and easy. You can actually edit right in here and go from there. While I'm in here, I'll show this quickly too as well. So if you click this little button here, you can actually start a conversation between people and write in here a conversation that two people are having on this document. And then from there, it ends up actually getting posted out here. So you can collaborate working on that document like that.
Yeah, that's something like I found it really, really cool too, is because Microsoft team basically put everything all together in one interface. So you can do something similar on Google or on your Slack, but you have to switch back and forth. But this is something like, for me, is really cool. I found it very useful. Yeah. Cool. Anything else? If this is, you know, I understand maybe you don't have a question right now. You might have question later on, but again, I keep emphasize about this. Feel free to contact us for any support. Contact me or contact Micheal. We are happy to help. Any question regarding to app or regarding to how to set up the Microsoft team. This is the whole purpose. You know, we start the webinar. Okay.